All right, let's get straight to the point. Everybody talked about this. Tenz and Kyedae, big Valorant streamers, they broke up. They were in a relationship for around 6 to 7 years, and they were even engaged at one point. The breakup came out of nowhere, raised for the fan, and they said they've been plotting this for a while. Now, a lot of people see this as a big chance to make a lot of money, and so they've been drama farming it. Tenz and Kyedae said they ended the relationship mutually. Surprisingly, the internet actually had an outrage, or I guess maybe unsurprisingly, but the internet started like having a crazy outrage and figuring out who to blame because they don't know the story and they want to know. People start having their speculations, their theories and stuff on it, and unanimously everybody just assumed Kyedae was the issue. And Kyedae is a female streamer. She has cancer, and it was just kind of unfortunate for her. Tenz was a former famous Valorant player, and he quit esports to just focus on anything really. Now some people say he left esports to focus on her, but there was a couple of clips showing that he actually planned to quit sooner, but she told him to keep going. Now, was that for her cancer? I'm not entirely sure, but I don't want to just say it is because that's the popular narrative going around. And then they're also saying stuff like Tenz gave Kyedae his bone marrow because they were a genetic match, and they're publicly denying this. And people are also saying that Kyedae cheated. It's a smaller subset of people saying Tenz cheated, but majority of the people are saying Kyedae cheated. And with all of this like outrage going on, Tenz and Kyedae publicly ended up having to talk about it somewhat. They both made a post just saying how they're upset really about all of the stuff people are saying, and they're just having lies spread up on their name. And then you got other YouTubers and other streamers who know them saying it's not like that at all, but the internet is having its own story and it's running with it because they don't like Kyedae, and Kyedae is extremely unlikable, so there was always bound to be issues with this coming out. Now I feel bad for everybody involved in the situation. This seems like it's possibly fucked, so I'm not gonna try to joke super hard about this or anything, just kind of be natural or whatever. And I'm not about to agree with the popular narrative just because it's the popular thing to do and a lot of people are hating right now. I'm gonna try to give unbiased news and I'm gonna see my opinions on everything after. So starting off, we have the Tenz and Kyedae cheating apparently. This came from a subreddit called OTV Friends and Drama, and the account is now deleted, but the person reading this starts off saying, initially at first Kyedae completely cleansed her Insta feed. Some people say that she moved their engagement post first and then everything on her page after, but they can't confirm it personally. Then soon after, Tenz had also removed every post except for one with Kyedae on Instagram. The engagement post was also unpinned on his Twitter, and this is the last post with Kyedae, has now been deleted. And then third, it said Tenz had unfollowed her on Instagram a month ago and then refollowed a bit after. He can't confirm if it had been the same day with the Twitter stuff. And then soon after, Tenz had a holidays alone and Kyedae was in Vancouver when they normally always had the past year spent prior. They spent it at the holidays with their families in Canada. Now neither Tenz nor Kyedae have been wearing their engagement rings in the past month. They have always been wearing their engagement rings on stream for the past 4 years, but this is probably the biggest evidence that something had happened. Some guy posted on Twitter that he found this picture, which looks to be a picture taken from Tenz and Kyedae's stream or chat or something on Twitch, and he said, I don't know if it's true, but he found this on Reddit. And now the actual post says alleged to be Kyedae in the chat saying, I'm sorry, LMAO, not my fault, LMAO. So I'm stuck here for a day, and John got the time wrong. Crying emoji, crying emoji, crying emoji. Me and Suvan missed the last boat. Tyson, don't be mad. For those who don't know, Tenz's name is Tyson. Now for the alleged and the victims of this, I hope to God this is fate and forward, because oh my god, this is kind of crazy. And there's genuine people I had beef with that I wouldn't wish this upon. So this guy right here is John Choi, and apparently he dated a bunch of different Asian streamers that were all in the same friend group as Kyedae. All of this led to John Choi getting a lot of hate now, and Kyedae's also getting a lot of hate from this. John Choi made a post on Twitter saying he isn't dating Kyedae and he's never hung out with her outside of a group setting, so people should stop cropping photos to make it look like they have. Tyson and her are friends, and stated himself multiple times that the rumors are false, so everybody should stop attacking him. In which people immediately started posting pictures of them both wearing the same hat like this and saying things like sure budge. Tenz also responded and posted saying, hey everyone, I've been seeing a lot of weird posts about Kyedae and me that are creating false narratives and spreading unnecessary hate. It's really disheartening to see. We parted on completely mutual terms and we still care about each other deeply. It honestly hurts so much to see her being attacked when we both supported each other through insanely difficult times. I also quit playing pro on my own accord and was never influenced by her to quit. People's goals can change over time, and that's just the way it happened with me. In a healthy relationship, there should never be comparisons about who sacrificed more or who gave more. That mindset is immature and it helps nobody. All All I ask is that you please respect Kyedae as a person and respect this decision we made together. This is kind of pointless drama, and is exactly why having a relationship in public can be so draining. She is also still dealing with ongoing health issues, which makes the negativity being spread about her even more heartbreaking and unfair. Thank you for understanding, and once again, please respect our decision. Okay, and then there's also another tweet Tenz posted saying, okay, this is genuinely disgusting that people are still spitting out bullshit onto the timeline. There's some stuff I'm going to clear up since people are just throwing around blind hate to push a narrative that is non-existent. John is a friend of both mine and Kyedae. Just because they hung out on a trip that I was supposed to come out on but had to cancel last minute with one of my best friends from high school, there with the two of them, who was also conveniently cropped out of the photo, to once again push this crazy cheating story so fucking wild. Maybe before people start speculating things in a relationship they have absolutely nothing to do with, they should focus on fixing their own insecurities so it's not projected outwards. Also, I have absolutely no clue how people started saying that I donated bone marrow to her when I most definitely did not. I legitimately can't tell if this is the type of shit that is just rage bait, but it's genuinely pretty hard for me to get emotionally charged like this. Now again, I feel bad for them because they're all just getting slandered and just absolutely dogpiled on, but I do wonder, everybody knows Twitter users are like this, especially since people get paid to just make shit posts on Twitter. Why would they even post this on Twitter, and why do they still use it? Like, I never understand when people be like, man, Twitter's a bad place, and then proceeds to use it still. Again, they should have made this post somewhere else, not on Twitter, and they shouldn't keep interacting with these people on Twitter, and I'm surprised we're even still using Twitter. This is 39 Daph. 39 Daph is one of Kyedae's friends, and apparently she unfollowed Kyedae during the time where they were cheating, and it was alleged to be with W.H.Y. 39 Daph went out with W.H.Y, and so people are connecting the dots saying, oh shit, well, you stopped following her around the time they were broken up, and you both dated W.H.Y, but you broke up with W.H.Y randomly, so there must be something going on here. And she replied to all of this saying, please don't use me to fuel this false narrative. Me and Kyedae been falling out. That had nothing to do with W.H.Y, and it was over an unrelated issue. We didn't see eye to eye last year, but they've been good friends with each other, and I have no issues with that or with them. And then she also said, I don't like this heavy mischaracterization of others. Push some nonsensical story. Yes, I'm no longer involved in their lives, but they are not deserving of the onslaught or the slanderous dogpiling that's happening. John is not a homewrecker, and Kyedae never did anything malicious. That's all. And people now has been getting on her because Kyedae herself hasn't actually said anything, but everybody is speaking up for Kyedae, and everybody made posts talking about it. And none of these people deserve hate, like, at all. It's genuinely not a lot of people's business. If they don't want to talk about it, they don't have to. No one's owed anything. But on the other hand, I don't want to sit here and be like how everybody else is saying that you're parasocial for wanting to know, which that's just stupid. Obviously, it's a big situation with big creators that people watch. Obviously, they're going to want to know. No, I had a friend who told me this was the modern day Pat and Jen, but obviously, people are really going to want to know. You're not parasocial for having your own opinions on it and your own thoughts on it. The people who say that are just virtue signalers who are trying to act like they're above you, but at the same time, you also shouldn't be sending hate or death threats to anybody involved, because it's not even that serious. None of these people know you, and none of these people care about you, or they wouldn't care about you more than just being a fan. And at the same time, I'm also seeing blatant dick riding here, where people are saying things like, you know, sometimes people just grow and move apart. That's normal. And I want to say this is the whole reason I even fucking started talking about this whole thing. That should not be the norm. You should not spend a lot of time with somebody and then be like, you know what, I think we got to see other people. Sometimes that happens, yes. Sometimes it is okay, but that's not the norm, and that shouldn't be okay. I don't think we should allow shit like this to be okay. That's weird as fuck. And you know what, maybe I'm weird for saying that, or maybe I'm the toxic one, but if that is toxic and weird, I will happily be toxic. I hope that shit never happens to me, and if that's normal to some of you guys, then shit, maybe it'll happen to you. I know I don't wish that on you, and I don't think we should wish that on anybody else, but we really shouldn't say that's normal. Like 6-7 years just down the gutter, but at least they're both okay. It seems like, just, man, it's really unfortunate. And this whole idea of sometimes growing apart from somebody and realizing that there's somebody else you want or something else you want, that's insane, because there will always be somebody else better than the person you're with, and there will always be somebody better than you. You shouldn't want somebody because of what they can do for you, how they look, or something shallow like that. You should be with somebody because you love them and who they are. I'm not saying that they didn't do this, but I'm kind of confused as to me personally. I'm also kind of confused on how this happened. Again, it'd be really hurtful if fucking I'm in a 6-7 year long relationship and then it just ended. You know, I really don't wish that on anybody. I'm sorry that they're going through this. Glad they see they're taking it well, but let's not act like this is normal. Let's not act like this is the norm. You shouldn't have to be a hoe to figure out who you want. Not saying they're hoes, by the way, but that being said, and people are saying that, oh well, they're young, they're just not starting their life out. That doesn't really change anything to me. I'm not gonna lie, that changes nothing at all. And they're also saying things like, well, they just got money now, which, man, I guess the stereotypes of rich people having to be dickheads is just constantly being true. Again, they're not doing any of this. I'm not saying they are, but to some of these people, being rich is an automatic justification for breaking up. Just insane. Hey, but at least PewDiePie and Marzio worked out. Good on them. You know, they're real hope. By the way, people are also saying that, like, how are they supposed to fucking believe in love if that shit happened? But I mean, hey, look at PewDiePie. PewDiePie's successful. Oh, and then there's also this guy named Jason the Ween, another big streamer. He was going out with Kyedae's sister, and apparently they also broke up around the same time. So damn. And earlier in the video I said Kyedae was more on the unlikable side, and that's because a lot of the community hates her. One, because she's a girl, and then two, they hate the fact that there was a situation where it was this guy who was in her game and they were shit talking to each other, and Kyedae went far to go out of her way to get him kicked out of his college, which is by far something you should not do. And I'm pretty sure she stopped streaming a bit after that, which, holy shit, that's fucked up. That's beyond fucked up. But I mean, look, she's sick. Everybody makes mistakes and does irrational things. This is by far extremely irrational too, though, so I don't really know. But yeah, that's why a lot of people don't like her. That's why I had a big issue with her. Oh, and then also apparently before everything kinda went to shit with them, Kyedae said something like this about
I've actually been like so happy recently. I don't know how to explain it, but I've been doing like, okay, wait. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but today's mental is so fucking good. Like, I was cleaning today and I was also cleaning yesterday. I've been hanging out with friends a lot, and I've just been doing like a lot more like management of my life. Like before, I would wake up, eat, stream, like decompress, like take a bath or whatever, go to sleep, repeat all over again and again and again. And then on my off days, I'd be so fucking tired and burnt out that I would literally do nothing, and then I'd do it all over again. I didn't get this one. So like, but I've been feeling like really, I feel like I've been managing my life really, really well recently. Actually, you know what it is? It's probably because I'm just smoking weed a lot more. W.H.Y, I guess. No, I'm kidding. Don't actually do that, chat. But it's been really nice, and I've been like getting back like to the old me, which might sound like a really weird thing to say, but like I used to listen to music all the time and like have a speaker with me at all times and just like vibe while I was like doing just random shit. Like today I was cleaning my apartment, I was putting the music on, doing laundry, and just like having a really good time by myself. It was awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Like, and then, so like previously to that, I just haven't been listening to music, so I don't know. It's been good. I'm just like chilling. I'm not getting like stressed out over stupid shit like I used to. Like I feel like I was like really, really anxious and like constantly like neurotic. I don't know. High strung. I'm mentally in like the best state I've been in a really long time, and I'm so happy. Tyson's gonna like come back home and he's gonna be like, holy shit, you're like a new person. I'm like, bro, I don't know how to explain it. It's been good. Been chilling.
Becoming a different person. And my honest opinion on this is like, I'm against the idea of drugs. I know that might be preachy, especially during this time, but if you have issues and stuff like that, smoking weed, you shouldn't resort to smoking weed unless it's absolutely necessary, and it's almost never necessary. That just leads to addiction. You know, you shouldn't drink your problems away. You probably shouldn't fucking goon. You know, don't do things that can get you addicted, which everything can be an addiction, by the way. Try to sort out and actually deal with your issues. And personally, personally, I don't trust women who smoke dating wise. I mean, like as a preference, I wouldn't go out with somebody who smoked, even though I don't think it's nothing wrong with that. I just wouldn't do it. And I don't get why they couldn't improve together or grow together, but for whatever reason they couldn't. That's just unfortunate. And also they said the breakup was mutual, which I don't know. I don't see a scenario where that could happen. And it's like, if one did break up, it's a fucked up situation, even if it was not mutual, because like on one end, leaving your sick, terminally ill girlfriend, insane, but on the opposite end, leaving your partner who's been there with you through thick and thin, also insane. So all I can really do is just hope they actually mean it when they say it was mutual, which that does happen. It's just super rare, at least from my perspective.